Imagine a self-driving car faced with an unavoidable accident. Who should it prioritize, the passenger or the pedestrian? This isn't a question for a philosophy class or a futuristic movie plot. It's a real-life ethical conundrum that artificial intelligence or AI could face. AI isn't just a tool, it's a decision maker, an entity that's increasingly making choices that impact our lives. And as AI becomes more ingrained in our society, these ethical dilemmas become more pressing. When we talk about AI ethics, we're not discussing some abstract concept, but real-world decisions that could mean life or death, fairness or bias, privacy or exposure. Take our self-driving car example. If the car is programmed to prioritize the passenger, it could potentially harm a pedestrian. If it's programmed to prioritize the pedestrian, the passenger might be at risk. It's a classic dilemma, akin to the philosophical problem known as the trolley problem. But unlike the trolley problem, this isn't a hypothetical scenario. It's a decision that needs to be made, and the one making that decision isn't a human, but a machine. So how do we program this machine? Whose life do we prioritize? And who gets to make these decisions? These are the questions at the heart of AI ethics. It's not just a matter of coding or algorithms. It's a deeply human issue, a question of our values and principles. It's about who we are as a society and what we want our future to look like. But there's an added layer of complexity, because AI isn't just making decisions based on our instructions. It's learning, adapting, evolving. It's making decisions in ways we might not even understand. So even if we program it with certain ethical guidelines, there's no guarantee it will always make the right decision, or even a decision we can predict. So how do we ensure that the decisions AI make align with our ethical standards? It's a question with no easy answers, but it's a question we need to tackle, as the future of AI is already here. In 2018, a shocking revelation shook the world. A company named Cambridge Analytica had used AI to manipulate public opinion on a massive scale. Cambridge Analytica, a political consulting firm, was accused of harvesting data from millions of Facebook profiles without users' consent. This data was then used to create targeted political advertising. The firm used an app called This Is Your Digital Life, which collected not just the data of the app's users, but also the data of their friends. Here's where AI came into play. Cambridge Analytica used machine learning to analyze this data and categorize people into different personality types. With this information, they created highly personalized political advertisements aimed at influencing people's behavior and thoughts. What's truly disturbing about this case is not just the scale of the data breach, but the lack of transparency and consent. Users weren't informed their data was being collected, nor were they asked for permission. They were manipulated without their knowledge, their personal information used to sway their political views. The scandal brought to light the ethical issues surrounding the use of AI. It emphasized just how powerful and potentially harmful AI can be when used without regulation or ethical consideration. Machine learning algorithms, if left unchecked, can be used to exploit people's vulnerabilities and influence their decisions on a large scale. Furthermore, it highlighted the importance of data privacy. In the digital age, our personal information is more accessible than ever. Without proper safeguards, this information can be used against us, as seen in the Cambridge Analytica scandal. This is not to condemn AI. AI has immense potential to improve our lives, but as with any powerful tool, it can be misused. And when AI is misused, the consequences can be severe. This case raises serious questions about privacy, transparency, and the misuse of AI. It reminds us of the importance of ethical considerations in AI development and use. As we continue to advance in the field of AI, we must strive to ensure that these technologies are used responsibly and ethically. In 2016, an investigative news organization called ProPublica unearthed a disturbing truth about an AI system in use within the United States justice system. The AI, known as Compass, was designed to predict the likelihood of a person committing a future crime. However, ProPublica's investigation revealed that Compass had an inherent racial bias, unfairly targeting black people. Compass, which stands for Correctional Offender Management Profiling for Alternative Sanctions, was developed by a private company and was used across many states. Its purpose was noble: to help judges make more informed decisions about defendants, particularly in regard to sentencing and parole. Data points such as age, gender, and criminal history were fed into the AI, which then calculated a risk score. Higher scores indicated a higher likelihood of reoffending. However, ProPublica's analysis showed that Compass was nearly twice as likely to incorrectly predict future criminal behavior for black defendants than for white defendants. On the flip side, it was more likely to incorrectly predict that white defendants were low risk. The issue wasn't necessarily with the algorithm itself, but with the data it was fed. Remember, an AI is only as good as the data it learns from. In this case, the data reflected the systemic biases present in the criminal justice system, where black individuals are disproportionately arrested and convicted. The AI simply learned and replicated these biases. This case underscores the importance of fairness and non-discrimination in AI systems. It's a stark reminder that we must be vigilant in monitoring these systems for bias and proactive in taking steps to mitigate it. AI has the potential to perpetuate and even amplify societal biases, leading to real harm for marginalized communities. The Compass case exemplifies the potential for bias in AI systems, which can have serious societal implications. It's a wake-up call to all of us in the AI community and a clear sign that we must do better. With these ethical challenges in mind, the question emerges: how can we regulate AI to ensure ethical use? Regulation in any field is a complex process, and when it comes to artificial intelligence, it's like trying to navigate a labyrinth in the dark. The technology is evolving rapidly, and the ethical considerations are multifaceted and deeply intertwined with our social, economic, and political systems. But we can't shy away from this challenge. Regulation is necessary to prevent misuse, ensure fairness, and maintain public trust in AI systems. The first step towards effective regulation is establishing clear guidelines. These guidelines should outline what is considered ethical and acceptable in AI development and use. They should cover everything from data privacy and security to transparency and accountability to ensuring AI systems are unbiased and equitable. But guidelines alone are not enough. They need to be enforceable with penalties for violations. The responsibility for shaping and enforcing these regulations lies with several key stakeholders. Governments, for instance, play a critical role. They can set laws and standards, establish regulatory bodies, and invest in research and education to promote ethical AI. Businesses too have a significant role to play. They are the ones developing and deploying AI, and they must take the lead in adopting ethical practices. This includes conducting rigorous testing to identify and eliminate biases, being transparent about their AI algorithms, and ensuring they respect user privacy and data rights. But it's not just about governments and businesses. Individuals, that's you and me, we also have a role to play. We can demand transparency from companies, support ethical AI initiatives, and educate ourselves about the potential risks and benefits of AI. But let's be clear, regulating AI is not about stifling innovation. It's about establishing a framework that ensures AI is used ethically and responsibly. It's about making sure AI is a tool for good, that it benefits everyone and not just a select few. Regulating AI is no easy task, but it's crucial to ensure that AI benefits everyone, not just a select few. As we've seen, the ethical considerations of AI are complex and multifaceted. The journey we've taken today, from exploring the ethical conundrums of AI through case studies and the pressing need for regulation, has shown us the many faces of AI ethics. We started with the broad ethical questions that AI raises. As we've seen, these aren't just technical challenges, but deeply philosophical ones. How do we define fairness? What does it mean for an algorithm to be transparent? And who gets to decide? These are questions that don't have easy answers, but they're questions we need to grapple with as we continue to integrate AI into our lives. We then delved into the concrete, real-world implications of these abstract dilemmas through case studies. The Cambridge Analytica scandal, for instance, showed us how AI can be manipulated to influence our choices and behavior. On the other hand, the issue of racial bias in AI demonstrated how unwittingly AI can perpetuate and even exacerbate existing societal biases. However, it's not all doom and gloom. We've also talked about the urgent need for regulation in this space. The development and use of AI shouldn't be a Wild West, but should be guided by clear rules and principles. This is a conversation that needs the participation of all stakeholders, from developers and users to policymakers and the public. Because ultimately, it's not just about coming up with the most efficient algorithm, but also about ensuring that the technology we create aligns with our values and benefits all of humanity. In conclusion, the ethical landscape of AI is as vast and varied as the technology itself. It's a landscape filled with challenges, but also opportunities for us to shape the future in a way that is fair, transparent, and beneficial for all. As we continue to advance in the realm of AI, we must ensure that ethics remain at the forefront. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about what AI can do, but what it should do.